Hello and welcome to Bleeding Tree Gaming. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend, and today I am joined by...
I'm Luke, aka SirMime.
And today we're talking about the Nova Open reveals that are coming up. Now, we all know this is mostly going to be a Stormcast Eternals reveal, where we're going to see the counterparts to the Skaven, their full release. But we're also getting some roadmaps as well. And there's a little bit of Blood Bowl reveals we've got to expect. So, yeah, let's dive into it, shall we?
Lead on.
Okay, so first of all, one of the things we could be seeing is some resculpts of Stormcast ones. At the start of 4th edition, we saw a lot of the earlier range being consigned to Legends, including some of the fairly recent models.
Yeah.
So are we going to see some darker versions of these?
It'd be really cool, like some lovely, like, Ruination, battle-hardened versions of older sculpts.
Yeah, so, like, out of these, we've seen the Knight Azeroth get a new skull. Azeroth, yeah. The Knight Quester and the Lord Veritan. So where are they on here? Let me find them. Lord Veritan there. Oh. Let's go back. So, yeah, Veritan, Azeroth, Quester. Oh, it's the Eren Quester on there. Yeah. We've also seen, obviously, the Prosecutors and the Liberators. Are any of the shooting units going to come back? Now, they seem to be de-emphasizing shooting in this edition, so what do you think?
At least specifically for Stormcast, they're kind of like moving away from them having any kind of range stuff.
I mean, it would be nice, I guess. Like, the Ballista's a cool model. I'd love them to redo that. And obviously, like, a lot of people have got the Judicators and Castigators from, I believe, 2nd edition.
I think loads of people love those, the Dracolites, the kind of, like, more feline steel ones.
Yeah.
They look really cool. It's kind of a shame that they...
Yeah, there's also, like, all of the magic ones from 2nd edition, like the Evocators and the Sequitors, and most of the rest is just heroes. So,
like, lore-wise, they're saying all the magic ones have had to move back to Azir to work on the cure, haven't they, now?
But, yes.
Like, non-magic ones, there's no real reason they can't re-sculpt them into some kind of newer version.
Yeah. So, in terms of resculpts, that's what we're expecting. Now, obviously, we've seen Taunus the Redeemed, who is the Knight Azeroth. We haven't seen... Like, we saw 2 different builds for this. I can't remember if they said there was another build. I think 2's probably right.
I think they've teased him twice now as well, haven't they? Because they did an initial one with the Brood Terror, and then I think, like, when they were talking about the reveal show... It was kind of like they just did a silhouette of him again.
Which is a bit cheeky. Like, yeah, we know what that's a silhouette of. Thank you. And while this is like a fancy centerpiece model, it isn't as big as some of the character models we've had. So, can we kind of expect some like bigger characters than this for Stormcast Eternals? Like maybe
we were talking the other day, weren't we? And we said how good it would be for a kind of like a versus battle box between Vandus and Corvus Call. I wonder if is Vandus going to be on the way for the Stormcast release, or
hold off with that bit because Vandus is coming ahead. Jumping the gun there. Yeah. So before we get to that, then let's talk about the Ruination Chambers. So, we've seen the Reclusians, the Lords Veritant, Vigilant, and Terminos have all got the Ruination keyword on them. So what else are we going to get? Are they going to have like basic infantry? Or are they just going to be like elite units and heroes that slot into armies?
Because they're really cool looking models, like all of the Ruination ones.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope they've got more ideas than what we've seen because, like, yeah, we could have like some Berserker style units. Obviously, we saw Vandus Hammerhand again flying into like a rage when he was about to lose his soul. I want to see more of these human Memorians because they're so cool. Very like Darren Latham cultist sculpts there.
Yeah, like all these like little like lore piece like marker token type things that they're putting into these units, like the like the big Griffstalker mount, where it's like apparently the soul drains like less if they're sat on those, and all the little griffs and like just these little cultist type characters that are with them. Just more of them with more.
Absolutely,
more
yeah.
That'd be good.
And it's like fairly traditional to have some mounted Stormcast of some kind. So maybe we like some kind of crazed mount for the Ruination Chambers would be interesting as well.
Maybe like a slightly less grand version of the Griffstalker that the one in the box.
Yes, the Lord Vigilant.
Yeah, Vigilant. Yeah. Vigilant and Veritan are always like.
I know. They're so generic names. We say this every time, but I've spent all day like researching them, so they're at least vaguely fresh in my mind. So, onto the guy we mentioned before. So the last Stormbrinker book saw him nearly killed by Corvus, calling the latter's apotheosis to demonhood, leaving Vandus catatonic. So Ionius Cryptborn is fellow model from the first edition starter box. He got a new model last edition, the lovely mounted one. Yeah. So would a new Vandus be released as part of the main Stormcast release, or it could be like a special rematch box with Cull, like you said before? I mean, that would be so cool.
Yeah, like any other army, I'd feel like it'd have to come out when the book came out. But since Stormcast is kind of like the Space Marine trade-off for Sigmar, there's no telling that they could do even more releases for them further down the line.
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe they wait until Khorne gets the book, and Khorne gets one of those big boxes with 2 new heroes and lots of like other troops. That to me would seem like the way GW would do it, but maybe we'll get Vandus now.
So marketing wise, it would be absolutely brilliant if they just waited up until Khorne get the book, and then they could just do all this promotion that like Vandus has gone crazy, like hearing about Khorne coming out, and
yeah, there's loads of room for interested stuff there. So my money's that they'll probably wait until that. Like, they could come out with the rest of the stuff. I'd love to see them. So yeah. Right. I think that's all the Stormcast speculation, unless you got anything to add.
Ooh, I mean, they are weirdly one of the few factions that still don't have a terrain piece as well.
That's true, yes. Yeah, I didn't even think of that, yeah.
I mean, Slaves to Darkness even got, like, their little terrain piece. Well, I say little. They got theirs right towards the end of 3rd edition, so it'd be kind of cool if Stormcast got their own.
Yeah,
I don't know what it would be, really, but...
No, some kind of, like, Azerite shrine or something. Yeah, that could be good. I'd love to see what they do with it.
A big, like, kind of mystical lightning rod, maybe.
Yes.
But yeah, it'd be interesting. I've no idea kind of what I'd feel would work for a terrain piece for them, but it is just kind of almost like I feel every army kind of needs to have their own terrain piece now. It's like
yeah, they've definitely like a lot of people thought they might try to write them out in this edition, like terrain pieces and endless spells, but as we can see, they're going strong.
Yeah. Very strong.
So, moving on, Blood Bowl. Oh, this is an interesting one. Yeah. I don't know much about Blood Bowl. You have played Blood Bowl, several games of it at least.
I have PTSD.
The thing about Blood Bowl is like they like to put out the wild cards. Like you can see here, we had the gnomes. Yes. We've also had stuff like the Snotling teams and all kinds of crazy things like that. I did like the Monster Mash team.
I just don't know. Do they stick to like a thing of like a semi-serious team and then kind of like a crazy team like this one, and then just rotate it? Because I think I had like something. Then it was the vampires. Then it was these gnomes, and then
Yeah, I just think they like to surprise us with nice models now. It seems like, not knowing anything about it, it seems like all of the standard races already have some very good teams. If there's any like big gaps there that I'm not aware of.
I think Chaos Dwarfs could always use some models.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
Could use it in Sigmar too.
But yeah, that's Blood Bowl.
It's anyone's guess with Blood Bowl. There's like all the sets are so kind of wacky and characterful. It's just always a joy to see whatever they come up with for Blood Bowl.
That's it. It could be a bog standard human empire team, or it could be like walking vampire carrots or something like that. You never know where they're gonna go.
You heard it here first, folks.
All bets on vampire carrots. So, roadmaps then. So, right, 40k. So these are basically all the codexes we've had out, except obviously Space Marines, Tyranids, Imperial Agents there, and Blood Angels we know is coming up. So that leaves quite a lot then. I don't think we're going to get Emperor's Children just yet. I think that's going to be next year.
Yeah, like kind of near towards the end of the edition army, leading into the next edition.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that's the slot they're going to go for it.
I mean, by all means, please surprise me and reveal some Emperor's Children models like in this one.
Oh, that would be amazing if they did, but no, there's no 40k models revealed to be shown off. I think we're likely to see Eldari, Space Wolves, and Death Guard. Eldari, because one of the biggest factions. Obviously, we haven't seen any of the Eldari factions yet.
Oh, yeah.
And whether they're like a combined codex or they're split in a different way this time, who knows?
Oh, you never know with Harlequins. Like, 1 minute they're part of the Eldari codex, the next they're like got their own.
Yep. Plus the Ynnari as well, of course, which presumably can still use Drukhari stuff in it as well. So it's just a big kind of complication with the Eldari stuff, and I think they need to get a book out for them fairly soon. So that's pretty certain. Obviously, Space Wolves, the other main like Space Marine faction, one of the big four that hasn't been released yet, if you count Ultramarines as the Space Marines Codex.
And again, it's kind of like they might show the roadmap for Space Wolves soon, but are Space Wolves going to get the kind of like new model treatment that Blood Angels have been getting?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I kind of think that would have just been Dark Angels and Blood Angels because they're the Angels of Death. They do them together. Yep. But then maybe they've got Space Wolves as well. Who knows? Death Guard, like, I've heard a couple of people mention it. It could just be an unfounded rumor, of course, but it would make sense, really, considering that
it is like one of those weird ones that is like I keep on questioning: is it like a dream that I've seen like people talking about like a roadmap with Death Guard on already or not?
Yeah, I swear I couldn't find two solid sources for it, but yeah, much the same. Horus Heresy next. So we're probably looking at some more Marines after we've seen like a whole like AdMech release. There's rumored to be a new starter set coming along the line that's got Mark II armor in it, and I think a lot of people have been waiting for that for a while. Obviously, the vehicle sprues that they brought out with the last lot has a Mark II armored dude in there. And Mark II armors on a lot of the early book covers in the Horus Heresy, so it seems like a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. I must admit, like 30k, it's completely not my area at all.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm not sure what they do after that. Presumably, like after the next Space Marine launch, there'll be another army looked at, but what that could be, I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, they might just put it as Mystery Army, the way GW does on these roadmaps.
Oh yeah, nice redacted thing.
Yes. Here's our roadmap. We're going to show you what we've got coming up. You've got redacted, and mystery. So the old world. Has the Empire stuff actually been released? I couldn't find it on the website. I don't
think Empire has. I know Bretonians were like the first one of the first armies in the start of launch period. But yeah, Empire itself, I don't think's had a release.
Yeah, I think I saw some made to orders for it, and that's why it confused me. But there's no actual Empire army out. So Empires, High Elves, and Vampires seem like the three obvious. Like, I'd say High Elves, I've heard a couple of people mention. Obviously, like, massive army for fantasy players. That I know a lot of people in Sigmar kind of weren't happy with the way Lumineth were, because they just wanted their pointy elves, their pointy High Elves. But yeah, I reckon it's definitely going to be one of those three next up, and the others are probably going to be fairly close behind. So, Age of Sigmar, presumably we're going to be getting, obviously, the Stormcast Eternals and Skaven books like September to October time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we'd have like 2 more books.
Yeah, kind of like start of next year. Maybe.
Yeah, in the kind of winter slot as kind of displayed here, but that would be the start of like either the end or the start of next year, like around then.
I'm going to throw out a theory that's probably going to age really badly after this roadmap gets actually shown.
Go for it. Go for it.
Maybe they're going to release the books in the order that we kind of saw them release the faction focuses.
That could be interesting. I mean,
I don't know. It's just a wild guess. A wild guess.
Do you remember what that order was off the top of your head? I've got no idea.
I know Gits were like one of the first ones that they showed after Stormcast and Skaven. Was it Nighthawk in the first week as a death faction?
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
Nighthawk do seemingly get a book quite early in the edition.
Yeah, I mean, Nighthaunt are currently the most overpowered faction in the game, yeah. So it might be an excuse to tone them down a little, or fine-tune them a bit.
Just wait until I've broken the book.
Yeah. And a lot of people are kind of hoping Slanesh gets a book soon as well. Although you played it and say, like...
I really enjoyed playing them. It was really good fun.
Yeah. I've heard people enjoy it.
All the stuff that you thought was going to bite you is actually really, really good fun to use, and does actually have, like, really good benefits for you if you play them, like, very reservedly.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, just being able to get a keeper to like run and charge across the board with like exploding 6s to hit is just very nice. Nice. Yeah, obviously it could be anything really. I mean, this is obviously we're doing a video here and we're trying to keep you informed, but we don't really know. We're just trying to guess. I know. I don't have GW whispering in my ear or any of the things.
No, I've gathered all the rumours I could for this, but a lot of it's going to be guesswork and wish listing anyway. So
salted buttons.
Yeah, I'd love to see Iron Jaws, whether they're part of a larger kind of Greenskins book or
get them their Spearhead box out as soon as possible.
Yes. I want to play Spearhead with Iron Jaws.
Oh, you know what? It's coming along soon. Until then, best have a Krill Boys army if you want to play.
Yeah. Oh dear. Well, that's our look at everything here. Leave us a comment. Let us know how you think we did. If you're watching this after the reveals have been shown, you can tell us we're idiots for picking it wrong.
Just what was it, like probably about 10 hours from now? Probably less at this point. We're going to be, I'm going to be sitting here gloating about how good we were at predicting.
Yeah, we're probably going to be eating some humble pie. So please, just like leave us the most horrendous abuse. Just call us idiots, morons. We love that. We love that. Just comment. That's all good for us. All good.
At the end of the day, broken clocks right twice a day.
Yes.
Maybe one of our predictions will be true.
Maybe. Well, don't forget to check down in the description where we've got links to all the stuff like Discord, Facebook, our Element Games affiliate link, all those stuff. We'd love to have you part of our community, which has been ticking along very nicely, especially the Discord.
Come join us. We don't bite much.
Yes. Oh, we've been Bleeding Tree Gaming. Thank you very much if you've listened all the way through. My name's Amy, aka Warpfiend. I'm joined by SirMime, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.